Hey friends, welcome to Daybird Aviaries. My name's Robert. I'm about to do a hive inspection on this brand new hive for the very first time. You're quickly going to realize I have no idea what I'm doing. I've watched lots of videos. I've read the Beekeeping for Dummies books. I've studied as much as I can study. I've watched other people do it in real life. So there's just really nothing to do but to do it. You're going to see in just a moment when I pull this inner cover off, there are a lot of bees. This started as a 5-frame nuke. Those 5 frames in the middle, look at all those bees. I was astonished at the number of bees that were up on top of the frames inside the hive. They had started to make comb up on top of the frames. Instead of drawing out comb on the foundation that were in the frames to the sides, they decided they were going to fill in that tiny little bit of space between the top of the frames and that inner cover. So I'm going to scrape off this wax using one of these little tools, these hive tools I ordered on Amazon. Uh, the smoker, it was just amazing when I put the smoke onto the bees, how they all just immediately crawled down into the hive. And it just amazed me that it was so quick, instinctual that they did that they just immediately crawled back down in between the frames. I checked some of the frames. You'll see that later in the video. I never did see the queen, but because there are so many bees, there are more bees in this hive just a week later than there were when I first put them in last week. It's just, I didn't count them, obviously, but it is just remarkable at how quickly they have multiplied. So I'm confident that there is a queen inside there somewhere. The two outer the frames on either side, the outer frames, had not been used at all. And so I was told to move over some of the frames from the inner part of the hive, not from the very middle, but to swap out some of the frames for the empty frames on the outside edges, and that this would encourage the bees to build out the comb on those outer edges. I am thinking that by next weekend I'm going to have to add another box to the top of this. So I'm going to go down to Birmingham. There is a bee supply company in downtown Birmingham, Foxhound Bee Company, and that's where I bought this hive. I want to put another deep box on top of this first deep box. Now here's where I'm pulling out one of the frames that came from the nuke, that came from the lady I bought the bees. Just look at that. That is amazing to me. Now, I gave it a good look, just that one frame. Like I said, I didn't find the queen. She's probably on one of those other frames and they're busy laying eggs. I'm looking, I know it's not on the camera. The camera is on a tripod. But I was looking very closely and there were so many eggs and larvae inside that comb. There was a queen in there somewhere. I know that there is. I've been feeding them. They're eating, a pint jar of sugar water syrup every single day. I had put a big piece of what's called pollen patty or bee bread on top of the frames inside the hive when I first put the bees in, and it was all gone. And you're going to see at the very end of this that I put more inside. I was really, really nervous doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time really doing this. I'm scraping off the comb that they put on the inner cover. There is a table behind me, and I just kind of scraped that off of the hive tool onto the table, and the bees immediately, they went over to it. They were starting to clean that up and get the honey out of it, the nectar out of it. and I'm sure they're going to reuse that wax. Um, I'm taking a good look at what's there. There's so many bees clustered there on the top of that. I was afraid that the queen was going to be there, but I didn't see anything that looked like a queen. And so here's where I may have made a huge, terrible mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in a panic. I had in my mind that I had to hurry. And so I was in a rush. So I didn't know what to do about all these bees up on top. I didn't want to smush any. So I had this bee brush, this really long-haired brush that came with the hive tools that I ordered, and so I used that to brush them away. And you can see I'm just fumbling around and making a mess out of things, making the bees mad. This is when the bees got really upset with me, is when I used that brush. I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not. If you're a beekeeper and you know what I should have done better, then tell me. Please, by all means, give me suggestions. You're going to see I forgot to put any more of that pollen patty back in there. That's a commercially thing I bought, and you just cut off a piece of it and you lay it on top of the frames inside the hive, and it provides pollen for the bees in a new hive situation, along with that sugar water syrup that's in that feeder on the front. There's what that looks like. It's just a gross, sticky, yucky. I don't like that feeling of sticky stuff, so it's just kind of gross to me. And you just lay it on top of the frames on the inside in an area where the bees aren't there. You don't want to squish any, obviously. And you can see I'm just putting everything back in place the best I can, and hoping and praying that I don't kill everything inside. There are just bees everywhere at this point. So many bees. Makes me really happy though, so I'm putting the cover back on, and I'm going to call it done and hope for the best. So I'm here at work, sitting in the van, waiting on the kids to pick them up from school, editing out the little last part of this video. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have any suggestions of what I could have done better or what I should have done, please leave comments down below. I would really appreciate any help that you can give me. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. Leave some comments. Give me a thumbs up, like the video, and please, if you possibly could, share it to Facebook and let other people know about our YouTube channel. I really would appreciate it. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.